Welcome to Creative Imperfections, the podcast where perfection is overrated and messy magic gets the spotlight. I'm so glad you're here. There is something you and I both know. We did not choose the easy path. We didn't pick stability or predictability or a schedule with weekends off. We chose the path of passion, creation, and total chaos. The one that keeps us awake at night with ideas that just won't leave us alone. Because let's be real, creatives are the only people who will leave a 9-to-5 job, a steady paycheck, and a sense of security in order to chase rejection, feast on uncertainty, and call it living the dream. We are the beautifully ridiculous ones, and thank goodness for that. Everyone else is out here trying to minimize chaos, but us, we romanticize it. We light it on fire and call it art. We traded fluorescent lights for inspiration, dress codes for daydreams, a cubicle for a blank page. And instead of saying, I just want peace, we said, actually, I'd like purpose with a side of emotional whiplash, please. Because that's what this creative life really is, a paradox wrapped in paint, pixels, and poetry. We didn't choose struggle for the sake of suffering. We chose meaning. We chose freedom, even if it came with fear. We chose to wake up to possibility instead of predictability. And that choice, while wild, was ours. The world doesn't always understand us. They'll say you could have had a normal job, and maybe they're right. We could have. But normal doesn't feed a restless soul. Normal doesn't hum beneath your skin at 3 a.m. whispering, there's more to create. Creativity isn't something we do, it's who we are. We can't help it. We see stories in silence. We find rhythm in chaos. We're the kind of people who feel everything deeply and try to turn that into something beautiful. And yes, sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it feels like you're yelling into the void and no one's listening. You refresh your inbox until your thumb cramps. You question your worth, your talent, your entire existence. Then one spark, one idea, one message from someone who says, hey, your work meant something to me. And suddenly you remember why you started. That's the real paycheck. That's the creative currency, connection. Because you didn't leave stability for chaos. You left comfort for your calling. You left fine for fulfilled. You traded certainty for significance. You said yes to being misunderstood, yes to failing forward, yes to risking it all for something that matters. And that's not foolish, that's fearless. And yeah, it's exhausting. But it's also extraordinary because this isn't about fame or applause or how many people see what you made. It's about having the courage to make it in the first place. To say, here I am, this is what I've got, this is what I feel. That is art. That's heart. And that's why you're here. So if today feels hard, if you're questioning whether it's worth it, remember this. The struggle isn't proof that you chose wrong. It's proof that you're alive in your purpose. You didn't walk away from stability. You walked toward your soul. And that's the kind of risk most people never take. So keep showing up. Keep creating through the mess, the magic, the mayhem. Because you are the living proof that purpose is worth the struggle. And maybe that's what makes you and every other beautifully imperfect creative out there so endlessly brave. So get out there and keep doing the thing. And always remember, there's magic in your imperfections. Go out there and find it. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Creative Imperfections. If you have a friend who could use this advice right now, please feel free to share this with them and make sure you subscribe.